it's just a matter now of getting the word out there. This gentleman needs your help. Okay, he's not like homeless, but we don't want that to happen. So let's push the envelope and let's get. I don't care if it's $5. $5 is nothing, guys. Okay, don't have that stupid cup of coffee. It's that stupid place called Starbucks, which you shouldn't be supporting them anyway. They're on the wrong side of the team.
And if your audience follows me, they can the thing that I want to do is this thing called .locals, which you sign up for it. It's actually good. It's got interactive chats and all sorts of stuff. And you can sign up for it. I'm not even charging for it. Everything on there is accessible, but you can just click a $5 a month thing. And if enough people do that, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's $5 a month.
My wife is donating to you. I know I had a few of my friends donate to you already. I'm going to get a few more donate, but I would like to see some of the bigger boys. I've only been here 15 months. I built a pretty impressive network, and that's with them holding me down. That's not going to happen for much longer. We're winning this war, Richard. And I'm glad that you are on our team, and I'm pinching myself that I'm even talking with you. You are the real superstar here, brother. Believe me when I tell you that.
I appreciate it, man. And thanks for having me on.
But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is without question the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, t-shirts. You got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Unified TV will take over Netflix. We're bringing in the next genre of movie producers and storytellers and actors and actresses. And we're telling the story of how the world is going to be on earth as it is in heaven. Jasara Nasara is coming. Don't make no mistake about it. Gold and silver right down below. Promo code Mel Carmine. Make sure you use the promo code. Almost $8 billion in sales. We're direct to like a bunch of mints. We are the ones that can get you the gold and silver directly to your door, okay, at the cheapest price. Don't even waste your time looking for a cheaper price. It doesn't exist. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. Our Patriots are literally waiting for you in the room. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail, and we'll get you as much as you want. Well, good afternoon, folks. Mel Carmine coming to you here, not live. It's pre-recorded, as you know. And we got the one and only Richard Citizen journalist in the house. Okay, Richard's a soldier. He's a general. He's a 5-star general as far as I'm concerned. And he's fighting this holy war that someone's going to have to win and someone's going to have to lose. And guys like us don't come on the battlefield to lose. Okay, he's having some financial problems right now. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And we want as many of you people out there as possible. I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20, $30, $100. Some of you have a lot of money. You want to throw them $1,000. By all means, please do so, because you see, we're in a war. A war needs funding. Okay, we're all about the XRP and the RV and the quantum financial system, which is all coming, which we don't put any dates on. And you're looking at the technology that I'm actually vibrating right now, man. This technology is like going through me. Okay, and he knows about a lot of this stuff. And I watch him do videos about all the coils they're putting on the roads. By the way, we turned that thing into a promo. We got people joining our room because this guy is in the fight. He's with all of us. Okay, so we got to be able to support. No man gets left behind. Mel Carmine is here. Okay, and if somebody goes down, we pick them right back up and say, yo, dude, we need you on the battlefield. Let's go. Okay, brother, let's start by saying this. I appreciate all the work you do. I'm unbelievable, but the reality is I want to know, how did this whole thing come about for you? Who is Richard Citizen Journalist? Were you born conspiracy theorist, or you just grew into it? How did just one day just pick up and say, I'm going to start filming Washington, D.C. and show the whole world that it's closed down? How did that all happen? Tell us the story, please.
Sure. So thanks for having me on, Mel. Someone from your admin team reached out to me yesterday and said that they saw my need. And look, my need is financing. So I just want your audience and everyone to know that. I mean, it's just a lot of people have been able to take the time to build an at-home studio, tap into what you're tapping into behind you, which is frequency. I mean, I have a Tesla coil here, right? And so, but my mission has been boots on the ground in the field, on the battleground almost every day. And believe me, it takes a toll. People don't understand, when you're out in cities and you're out in places and you're getting zapped and people are attacking you and things are attacking you. And we're warring in a spiritual warfare right now. It's good versus evil. And I'm seeing God's kingdom rise, which is good. And I'm seeing evil in plain sight that's just scouring and clawing away at us as best they can. And it seems to me that they're losing power. But you have to remember how this ends. It's in the book of Revelation, and that's where we are in time. We're at the point where the veils are falling and we are seeing. And so, and you're right. Look, I was going to change my name a little while back to Richard War Journalist, because that's what this is. And it takes a toll. And I just haven't had the time to figure out how to fund my war, fund my mission. And others have. And I speak, and I really think ultimately, like, Mel, I don't know that much about you. When we first started talking off air a second ago, I said, I don't know, you live in Costa Rica, and you're saying this. And I may not wholly agree with you on the QFS, like you're talking about, or Q movements or whatever they are. I might have some differing opinions, but at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm in a foxhole with another guy with a weapon that's on my team, I don't have to agree with him, on everything. And that's what a lot of what's going on. And the Patriot movement has unfortunately kind of fallen apart a bit through various reasons. All this truth, things that are real, things that aren't, things approvable, all whatever it is. And so my job has just been one of putting my camera on the truth and showing people. And so the way that began was, I was the number one salesman, Mel, before COVID. I had a home with a pool, right? And I had furniture and lots of clothing and things of this nature that people take for granted. Well, I'm sitting here and I can pack everything that I own in a couple of suitcases because I've been at war and I've been all over this country. And so that's the sacrifice that I've made. I'm doing it proudly because we're going to win. And I'm part of the reason, a big part of the reason, hashtag film your hospital was because of me. Because when they said the hospitals were full, I was running through them, showing them empty. I was on the rooftop of a hotel filming the Rose Garden when CNN had Joe Biden live and he wasn't there. And I filmed it in real time. And these are things that no one else in the world has done or even tried. You know why? Because people are afraid and they're weak and they are pathetic. And when I have to sit here and come on your show and say I'm having financial problems when I'm a warrior in this war, when I go to a Trump rally, everybody knows me. They're in tears. Thank you, Richard. And I'm not saying it out of ego. I'm a humbled man, believe me. I'm a God-fearing person. I've been down on my knees praying to God more than ever before in my life in these last couple of weeks. I'm going through a difficult time. And I'll admit it like a man because it's okay. It's okay. Because once this time has passed, I'm that much stronger with the full armor of God on every day, with my steps being ordered. And so, I just said on 9/11, I was getting my hair cut and a plane hit one of the towers. And then, I went home and I watched CNN. And then I was in college at University of Maryland. I went to class the next day or that evening, I think I had an evening class. And the professor's like, should we be holding class? I'm like, no, we shouldn't be holding class. Like the Twin Towers in New York City just fell. Like we should cancel class. And he did. And then the next day I was down on campus and everyone's a mess, crying. And that day I said, listen, kerosene cannot melt steel. Physics is one of my favorite things, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that kerosene cannot melt steel girders. And then if you don't want to believe that one, just look at building number 7. Look at the lack of, and so that this truth has been coming out now with NASA and all the rest, which is fine. But in my opinion, enough truth has come out. Like I don't need to post the daily newspaper headlines anymore. I'm probably going to stop doing it because I just feel it's almost like I'm giving the enemy too much power. by just engaging them. It's time for us to get on the same page to help each other, just as we're commanded to do. And the ones in the fight, all the time, anyone that's ever traveled with me, Mel, knows that I stop and I speak to the homeless and I ask them what they need. And I do what I can, right? And I've been doing it for 3 years. I've given away more. And I look back at it and someone said, Richard, can you help me with my rent? Yes. And I was someone, again, like I was the #1 salesman in the country. When COVID hit, I was just bringing my mother back from the President's Club trip because I won Salesman of the Year because I sold something like, I don't know, $4 or $5 million worth of remodeling for the company. I was a #1 sales guy at 7% commission. You can do the math. And I hate to sound like a broken record on this, but what people need to realize is, which is just the plain and simple truth. And that is, there's no solution in front of us from government. There's no solution in front of us right now from any sort of organization. No one, not Trump, not any government in the world. This is a worldwide wake up. And the wake up is, we've got to be the ones. We've got to come together. We've got to help. We should already have our own network that you can turn your TV through. And the Patriots should have already bought airwaves. We can do it. We can buy our own airways, and you can get an antenna for your TV and you can tune it in just like your radio, and you could see X22 and you could see And We Know and you could see David Nino and you could see me, and it should already be organized. But no, instead it's every man for themselves. And how is that working for everybody?
Bingo. Mic drop. Mic drop. You know why? Because it's all about me. It's my network.
And no one can keep up, Mel. People like I was at a meeting last night with 20 to 30 people, and and they're all awake, right? But they all believe different things because they're all listening to different people, and people are not on the same page. And that's causing us to be extremely fractured. Look, Mel, I don't care what necessarily what you're all about. I just know that we've got to start working together. We should have a morning call. It should be me and you and Alex Jones and everybody. And we should be saying, what's up, guys? What's going on? Okay, Richard, go look into this. I'm doing this. We're doing that. Oh, great. Let's have a 1-hour reconvene roundtable every day of what's going on. But instead, people are trying to tune into every damn little thing with their phone, and you can't keep up. No one can keep up. And the reality of it, the basic reality of being someone that's been out in the world, boots on the ground everywhere in America, is the thing on the move is God. And that's what we got to start talking about, because that's where we are. I don't see it any other possible way. If we do not return this nation to God and repent, and that's where we are. That's the war. That's the collision right now. It's Babylon in America. You drive America, look at the billboards, look at the strip clubs, look at the liquor stores in every corner, look at the cities being cleaned out, look at the 5G weaponry towers that are up in the air. So it can go either way. A lot of this stuff can be used for the good, but it can be used for the bad. And that's the battle and everything. And the battle's in our minds. And then there's great stuff like you're doing with frequency machines and all that. I've been around a lot of that. You're a hero in that sense. Christopher Key, the vaccine police guy, he's got beds and he's telling people, come on down. Let me show you this. He's doing amazing things. So, that's just where we're at. And for my mission, like I've just been saying to myself, I'm going to post less because I think that's what we need now. I think we need less, just narrowed straight down to the truth. What is it? And getting to it, and I'm just
nice. It would be nice if the Nino Rodriguez's of the world, and I'm going to call these guys out. You know why? Because I got balls that are bigger than King Kong. You know why?
Here we go then.
I'm telling you, I'm going to call these guys out, and I'm doing it publicly, and I don't give a shit. You know why? Because that's the way I was made. Okay. And I'm here in the image of God, and you got to be fearless to be in this fight. And I will tell you that, you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Okay. The biggest problem I see with the Michael Jackos and the Nino Rodriguez's and all these patriots, they all got hit by a disease, and it's not the COVID. No, it's called greed. You got to let go, and you got to let God.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, there's been a lot of profiteering, and believe me, I'm fine being a capitalist. I got no problem with people making money. But when a guy like me, this is the thing I don't get. I mean, when a guy like me who my videos get taken off Telegram and thrown all around the world, man. I got contacts from everywhere. And when a guy like me has to come out and kind of be like a beggar,
I have a problem. I have a problem. I
And when
have
these
a
people,
problem. I have a problem with you coming out being a beggar. I
yeah,
have
me
a
too.
problem.
It's,
You should be in that
it's,
position.
I know. And I've been presented with opportunities which I thought were good, and they just didn't pan out. I don't really get why. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that's worked as hard as me. I mean, I must have no days off, and I'm at it almost every single day. I think I post more videos of what's going on in the world than anybody else in the world all the day, every day. And and I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I know without funding, it stops. And I also know that it's changing right now. Like, I'm realizing that it's not so much anymore about new truth. It's about, we know, so now what are we going to do about it? And that's the piece. That's the thing I want to be in. That's what I want to be part
Brother,
of.
here's the thing. You should be floating on cash. I should be floating on cash. I'm not doing bad, but I'm not doing as much as I should be doing. And we should be taking that cash, not spending on us. I got a $29 watch, right? Looks expensive. 29 bucks.
Yeah.
That's it, right? But the reality is we should take that cash and throw it back into the war chest and fight these MFers.
Yeah, well, I've said for a long time, it's like, and it's even like, it's all so stupid complicated. I mean, you got people like George Soros who can fund everything. Like, where's the Patriot? The Patriots are getting demolished. And I think the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are sitting on a lot of cash. Believe me, I've stayed in big mansions of people on my channel when I was traveling, and on waterfront and on this and on that. And when I talk to them, it's like I fall on deaf ears. And I'm like, well, you watch every video that I have. Why aren't you? I did a budget the other day, and I added up what it would cost me for like this year's on the thing I want to do, some travel, some events, different things. And it's still a big number, but 150,000 gets me funded, right? Like, covers the bills, covers the expenses, covers the travels. 150,000. I was making more than that before COVID. And that's like the choice I'm facing. It's like, well, do I go back and sell remodeling and let us lose? Or do I stay in the fight and keep telling people what's going on and showing them the way?
Exactly. Well, guys, his stuff is right down below. Please, we're in this fight. We're never going to have to go through this new world odor. And I call it an odor because that's all there's going to be left when we're done. It's going to be an odor, not an order. Okay.
Well,
his information is going to be right down below. Donate some money to this guy. We need him in the fight. I know Mel Carmine, needs this dude in the fight.
Yeah, Mel, like I was telling you earlier, but I asked for donations a month ago on my channel, and I raised enough to cover my expenses for a month. Right. But the reality is, if I had way more than that, I could do way more. And don't people want me doing way more? And I just have this list. I'll show it to you real quick so your followers can see it. Sure. But just last month, I just wrote down what I posted to the internet. This is a list, right? This is 2 more pages of list. This is everything I've posted in the last 30 days. And a lot of people have new knowledge. It's 5 pages of stuff. And a lot of people have new knowledge now because of these videos I shot. And that's powerful because it's the truth.
It sure is.
And so, it's just, so, even, and there's different people. Like, look, I know a lot of people say, well, Richard Citizen journalist, he's this. I'm sure a lot of people say Mel Carmine's this. People need to knock that nonsense off. There's a guy, Phil Godlewski. I don't know him that well. And I know he's got a channel. I follow what I can, right? But I do look at his, and he pushed on, he put it out there for me, and his followers came through and put a lot. I don't know, I can't keep track of who comes from where and what, but that's what we need. And when you got a guy in need like me, let's help it. Look, if there's someone out there that's got a product that they say, hey, Richard, you promote this, and I can see that you need a $15,000 budget, and I'm an American Patriot company, and talk about this and use my product and however it works, and then I'm funded. And I hate talking about it. I really do. But it's the reality.
Well, Phil Godlewski, my hat is off to you for reaching out to Richard Citizen Journalist, and more people should reach out. Do I like Phil? Yes. Do I think he's entertaining? Yes. Does he have great information? Yes. And I do follow him. Sometimes I need to get entertained too.
Everyone, I mean? Yeah. Well, that's right. A lot of the things we follow is entertainment to some degree. My stuff is just what it looks like on the street.
Oh, your stuff is freaking riveting. Let me tell you, when you walk down the street or you're driving down the street and you're showing the Federal Reserve building with sandbags and walls that go for miles, you don't know. Look, you don't own $150,000 worth of equipment or $250 million worth of camera equipment where you can make things appear as they're not. correct? You don't own any
Right,
of
right,
that
right.
stuff, right?
It all comes from a phone, man. This is what I use. You know,
That's it. Okay. So what you see pretty much is what you get. Now
Yeah,
I
and
got
that's
to
what I
ask
try
you,
to.
yeah, I got to ask you one question.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to hit you with one question.
Mm-hmm.
You supposedly, you and Nancy Drew, I'm sure you know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Supposedly you filmed the Treasury being arrested, or a few people at the Treasury being arrested. Was that true? That there was a bunch of buses and cars that pulled up to the Treasury building? A lot of people went away, and that building's closed as well. Or is that a bullshit story? I want to know, because I've been telling that story a long time, because David Strait said that happened and you filmed it. I want to make sure. I want to get down to the bottom of it, because I'm a truth seeker. I want to know the
Right.
truth too.
I know.
Did that happen?
No.
Okay. Here we go. So I apologize for telling that story, because I believe David Strait. David Strait said, but the Treasury is closed. Is that correct?
Well, so I can't speak to it at this moment because I haven't been there in a little while. But the last time I spent a weekday in DC, the buildings, look, it's a weird reality. I think that what it looks like is guard shacks with guards, but it's been that way forever. I mean, it's nothing new. All the federal buildings are protected by guards, but they have underground parking lots, and like almost no cars are going in and out, and a person comes here or there. That last time I looked at it, that's what it looked like. But then I just heard someone told me that Biden is saying he wants all federal employees need to come back to work. And I think it's part of this work from home thing. And I don't know. I don't know how the people's business and the government's business gets done by people working from Wi-Fi connections on their computers from home. And that has been a confusion. But other people say that they work from home and they get a lot accomplished. So I don't know. But
the COVID thing is over. Don't you think that they would have been back to work by now?
Yeah, it's all very peculiar, man. I mean, I have friends that are inside the White House. I have friends that are inside the Capitol, and those people are all there. But the federal buildings in between are working on skeleton crews, so it's all hard to discern what the truth is. And what I'm telling you is largely that part of the theater is not as important to me anymore. What's important to me is what are we going to do, right? Because whether they're there or not now.
But you see, I have to call bullshit on bullshit. You know what I mean? So I'm calling bullshit now on David Strait. Sorry, dude. Okay, you're being called.
You got it wrong.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
And I got the video because I've been promoting that video. Right? It sounds like a nice story. I want that story to be real. But if it's bullshit, and we're here as truth seekers, it's my job to call you out.
Well, yeah, and I remember someone was like, "Oh, Richard, David Strait's talking about how you filmed all these arrests in front of the Treasury," and I was like, "What?" And then this is the weird thing. I'm like, I'm an easy guy to get a hold of, like it's one of these things where it's like, it's, listen, a spade is a spade. If you're about the truth and you want to know it, call Richard Citizen Journalist. He'll tell you, and he filmed it firsthand. So much of the stuff these people, listen, I was with Mayor Rudy Giuliani in Phoenix with thousands of signed affidavits filming it after the 2020 election. I was with that guy with the horns. I met him. I know him personally in Arizona before he ever got escorted through the police, through the Capitol, and then got arrested. Now, because of some of the most recent footage, he's now in a halfway house. And that guy took a deal because he was suicidal in solitary confinement. A lot of people don't know these things, and so if someone wants to know what the truth is, I was there for a lot of it, and I know a lot of it. I have a lot of it on film, but I'm one person. I always tell people I have six terabytes. I think it is terabytes. Gigabytes or terabytes, but
terabytes.
Yeah, I have 6 terabytes of film. That should be in every history book for the till the end of time. But I don't, I don't know how to edit videos. It's not, I'm just but so, and the point is like all these shows and these channels, like they should call me. They have all these other famous people on that pontificate about whatever, and everyone, and look, I hope a lot of it's true. Okay. I hope that, the continuation of government with Patel Patriot is true. I hope this guy, Derek Johnson, is right about a lot of things. I hope SG Anon is right about a lot of things, but I am a discernment person, and I know about AI, and I've been down rabbit holes for 20 years. And when someone new pops up and they have some information that fuels this patriot movement, I also wonder, are they a Fed? That's just how I am,
Right.
So Do I think some of these guys are authentic? Yes. But I think they could also easily be seeded plants because the AI is reading and listening to us and hearing we're getting agitated and says, oh, we better throw a new character out here that says something that makes a lot of sense to keep people calm down. And so whatever it is you believe in, whatever rabbit hole you think is real, that's the facts. Now you're still very free. You can still fly anywhere in the world. The mail is still delivered 6 days a week, so, it's fine. And you mind yourself and you follow the law and it's okay. But there's everyone I talk to at church this week, I talked to 100 different people. And that's the other thing about me. I talk to 100 different people in person that I see out in the world that I don't know. No one else is doing that. I go talk to strangers all the time. Right? No one else is doing that. Everyone's in their echo chamber. Everyone's getting their information from a few sources, they say. Right? I am out in the world at the gas station. How you doing, sir? What do you think is going on? Well, I'm just praying every day, Richard. Or not doing it. What are you doing? Got a guy walking in a liquor store. What's going on in the world? Everything's upside down. Nothing makes any sense. That's what everyone is saying. I go to the woman that's wearing the mask and I say, hey, we don't have to do this anymore. And then I did a video of a clerk that was stocking shelves in Giant. I think his name was Drew. And he broke down 13 families and bloodlines and all this other stuff in the middle of a grocery store the other day. There's no one doing what I'm doing. And so because of that, I know what's going on. And what matters is what's going on at the street level if you want to know what reality is. But if your reality is family and T-ball with your kid and going to church on Sundays and working your job, that's fine. That's all going on. But all this chaos and all this confusion and a lot of things people believe that can't be proven is a problem. And that's why we have to go back to the word of God, because that is the truth. And that's why when I speak my words to you, I want them to be true and authentic. And that's why if I'm wrong or we were wrong, or we believe something, that we have to say it. Hey, I got it wrong. And I'm not saying in the case with the treasury thing, I think David Straight thinks that he saw that. I think there's a video out there, something that I filmed that looked like that. I mean, I don't think
I've seen the video 100 times. I got the video. The one that I have is a shorter version where he doesn't mention your name. I couldn't find the full version, but I'm going to call bullshit on bullshit because listen, if we're truth seekers and we embellish the truth into something that is not the truth, then we look like a bunch of hypocrites.
Right. And these days I have no interest in it. I mean, it's just like, believe me, man, like right now I have financial problems because I bought into the fact that there's going to be a reevaluation. I met a bunch of guys and they're like, stop paying your bills. So I did, and now
it's going to be a reevaluation.
Well, anyway, my reality is my credit is shot. Now I'm making deals with my credit card companies because I stopped paying them. Now granted, I was running out of money. Look, granted, I made mistakes. I should have been asking for money all the time along the way and figured something out, but I did because I was just about the truth all the time. But I fell into rabbit holes that I thought were real. And now I'm dealing with the aftermath. And so people can say, oh yeah, I was with this guy named Mark Zelle a few weeks ago and Inventor Ron, all these people that are doing stuff. And they're all saying this stuff. And I said, well, I don't know. But then they said, well, they say there hasn't been a bill printed past 2017. So I pulled up my wallet. I looked at all my bills, couldn't find a bill past 2017. So there's something to all this stuff. Nasara just said, quantum financial. We're seeing shifts of banking. I'm seeing new ATMs doing weird things. I'm hearing stories about stuff. But what is actually true? What's happening when? What comes next? Nobody knows. And that's why we have a lot of good idea, right? But that's why, like you're working in the healing field, right? So you have this technology behind you. You told me your mother's been healed from fibromyalgia.
The machines do not heal you, okay, for the audience. The machines only provide the atmosphere so that your body becomes its own doctor or its own mechanic, whatever you...
It turns cells back on. And
the cells are going to replicate in the billions in the healthiest cells ever. This is what this does. The scale away technology replicates cells in the billions over and over and over again. So when you're in this technology being bombarded by a technology that allows your body to replicate healthy cells, your body goes into automatic repair mode. You could be a pizza guy, okay, and teach people how the body can heal the body. You don't have to be a doctor.
I mean, I've spent some time on the frequency beds and I've done some stuff. There's definitely something to it. It definitely does something. I think ultimately, the reality that we're all in. And this is stuff that I prefer to talk about more than some of the conspiracy theory stuff, because you can see it in plain sight. If you go in your pantry and you look at the cereal box, you'll see words you can't read, right? If you buy meat, if you buy a pork chop and you pour Coca-Cola on it, parasites come out of it. If you turn on your tap water, you can smell the chlorine and fluoride, right? So like our cells aren't working correctly because that's the attack we're under. And that's
everything that you touch, do on a daily basis, the air you breathe, the water you drink, the products you buy, are all being bombarded with chemicals to make us stupid and sick. Everything, they are out. That's why today I was driving around, okay, and I said, we got to start voting with our dollars. Now I'm here, I'm under a time constraint. Am I guilty to buy a bunch of products from Jeff Bezos? Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Okay, but the reality is, we were going out. I says, I hope, because I'm following my friend Frank Mancini, right? He's going back home to Los Angeles. And so I hope we're not going to Starbucks, because I don't want to support an organization that is not on our team and doesn't have the same views, right, as we do. And we know we're right. We don't just know we're right. We are right.
Yeah.
Correct? So if you guys stop voting, start voting with your dollars, say, hey, that's an organization that we don't agree with from a political standpoint, and take your dollars and switch them over. That's how you win the war.
100%. Look, for my part, like yesterday, because look, I'm telling you, like, I'm up against it, right? So I want your audience to really hear that. Yeah. But I stopped in. I recently quit drinking completely. God took it from me, which is great. And I quit smoking as well. And one of the reasons, is health, of course, but is money. And so just 2 days ago, I got, 7-Eleven had 3 bananas for $1. And I know the banana probably has GMO in it and this and that, but there were 3 for $1, and that's what I got. I can't step into a Walmart. And I know people are in different situations, but you're right. Vote with, look, this is the thing, man. We're behind the curve on some stuff. We should already have a Patriot Amazon company owned with good stuff, right? And there is some of that out there, but the process to get involved in it is challenging, and people aren't taking the time. And I think it's a shift we're going. There's all these shifts happening, right? I like seeing some of the number counts go down. I'm hoping people are getting off their screens as much. I mean, the children are all they want to do is stare at their screens. Like the video games, like they get sucked into the AI. It's constant, and so but you're right. At the end of the day, the vote that you have that counts, right, is your dollar. And your vote, my vote, to God Almighty, like that. Those are the 2 things that I know that count in my life, and then it's like, and I get, but yeah, I mean, I can't do it anymore, man. I was just telling a friend of mine tonight. I said, when I was running around the country doing Richard Citizen Journals over, I mean, you're on the road, so I'd stop at a nice restaurant, sit at a bar, have a drink, and now I go into a bar and I see the TV screens playing the sports and the nonsense, and all the people sitting around drinking. And I'm just like, I'm no longer of this world. Like, this is not my well that I drink at anymore. It's dried up. Where I want to be is with people that are awake, with believers, with people that understand what's happening. We need men to be men and rise up. And it's not, but when you have 30 years of habits, this and that, it's hard to break. That's why some of that scalar technology is amazing. I've been around a lot of it, and it changes you. You really, your body starts waking up, and your cells start waking up, and you feel different. But you have to make a big effort. Like there's people that call my phone and I don't answer them anymore, because it's wasting my time, and their words are poisoning to my ears. And we've got to be very careful with that now, because that is where we are. I cannot turn on the TV and listen to Fox News, to CNN, to none of it. I don't want to see it. As I told you, I've pretty much made the decision. I'm no longer going to post the headlines to my channel, because I believe that we know the truth. We know what the enemy is. What are we going to do about it? I want to hear about when Mel Carmine and Richard Citizen are getting together somewhere, and when we're inviting our audiences to gather, and when we are getting under one force to just say, that cabal and that 1% and that elite, it exists. Yes, it's out there, and they're all evil, and but we can remove ourselves from it. We don't have to participate. Now we know. And so, like, I don't need to see the speeches anymore. I don't need to see the headlines anymore. I mean, they just had a story on the newspapers about a 21-year-old Air Guardsman that supposedly exposed classified documents. I was in the National Guard. I didn't get access to classified documents or a skiff or any of it. So you have to start understanding that all the shootings, when there's a shooting at a school, you have to understand when there's police camera video, lawyers have to look at it because there can be liability. Maybe one of the police officers misstepped. Maybe they did something wrong. They got it the next day after that national shooting, that video was out. Those things don't add up. And so I just cannot.
How much of that stuff gets edited out, and and because the boys upstairs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, guys, I got to give myself plugs. I got to keep my bills paid too, Richard. Chula Vista here in Chula Vista, California, which is right on the border of Tijuana. What a beautiful place. It blew me away. I thought this place was going to be like an extension of Tijuana, which is pretty much a shithole. Okay. No offense to you Mexicans out there, and all the Mexicans hate me now all of a sudden. But Chula Vista is going to be free of charge for an entire month. And that special ends. This is our first month in operation, 100% free of charge. That special ends May 10th. Okay. Down below, staying alive with two eyes, stayingalive.com. Go to the website. $10 membership fee, lifetime membership. Yeah, we're trying to get rich off your $10. That's why we give you a lifetime membership for $10. You see, we give stuff away practically free of charge too. And the bottom line is, look, we want to see all the wealth. You can have all the XRP in the world. You can have all the dinars, all the Zims, all of whatever. If you're unhealthy, what the hell good? If you got 1.5 feet in the damn grave, what the hell's, $10 quadrillion going to do for you? Besides, you're still going to die.
Yeah. I hear you.
Right?
Yeah.
So that, brother, I try to do the right thing. There's a lot of people out there. I'm one of the most controversial figures out there, and I'm okay with it. I'm fine.
And look, I'm fine with it too. I don't care. As I said, we text each other. You have me on a Zoom. That's all I know about you. I saw it come on. I saw the frequency technology behind you, and we started talking, and that's it. That's all I know. And that is my experience of you. And I'm going to make my judgments. As far as I can tell, you seem like you're on the same team as me. So that's what I care about. These people that are hung up, these channels and people that just spend all their time trashing others, that's a reflection of themselves.
Bingo.
At this point. People messed up. I messed up. I still mess up all the time, right? But, so maybe you're controversial, maybe you're not. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'll forward this Zoom call to my channel. I'm sure there'll be commenters about, that's Mel Carmine. He did this terrible thing, whatever. I mean, I don't know. When I first saw you, I saw your XRP hat. I thought you were probably a crypto guy, and maybe you do that too. I don't know.
I'm only XRP, XLM, XDC. That's all I do. I don't really do anything. I try to stay in that focus on the ISOs, the ones that are going to take over the world. I know what this is. I've been here too long, Richard, to get this wrong. And I've been here for almost 8 years. May 18th will be 8 years for me in this, this digital asset game. I could tell you, we can go into that whole thing. That could be another podcast all in itself. I could tell you that, when you start to look, and I'll just give you for your audience as well, which is really important. When you start to look at the breadcrumbs don't lie. When you got Christine Garlinghouse and you got the David Schwartz and the CEO of Ripple, right? And the CTO, David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse, all three of them get invited to go down to Antarctica. That's a major breadcrumb. You don't go down to Antarctica because they're, on vacation together. They're going down there to decide world affairs. When you see that XRP is the only one, not XLM, I'm going to repeat that, and that's going out to somebody. You know who you are, okay? Not XLM, even though I own a shitload of XLM as well, okay? XRP is the only one that gets invited to all the important meetings. No one's ever been able to produce a video of XLM being invited to any of the important meetings, not one. I challenge anybody out there who's an XLM aficionado, and I am too, okay, to show me a video of XLM being invited to one, not two, just one meeting that's important. It's always XRP, the G20, the G7, the G30, all of it.
All right. Well, listen, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I know
I
that has something.
understand. I get, there's a lot of people out there that are your audience that do know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I get it.
about.
It's just right. So like this is the thing too. It's like my mission, right, is boots on the ground truth, right? That's my mission.
Right.
And what I feel secure in, just knowing what I know, is gold and silver, right? So like that's what that's my, and I know there's a whole other space of crypto and tons of reevaluate. I know that's going on. It just can't be. Richard Citizen Journal still has to use dollars because he's got to buy gas and he's got to stop at 7-Eleven and he's got to get a hotel room occasionally. He still has to use a debit card and all. I know more stuff's coming, but that's my reality. And that's the mission that I'm on, to show people what's going on. And so, that's just me. There's other experts in different things. There's a great guy that lives in Hawaii. I forget his name, but he's talking about how the big hedge funds and stuff, how they're moving their assets around. And you're seeing all that happen. That's the whole thing. We all know something is coming, right?
Yeah. Well, you're paying attention to one aspect of the breadcrumb, but your aspect of the breadcrumb, it ties right into the Q movement. It ties right into the XRP story, even though you don't have time yourself, because Richard Citizen Journalist, I can assure you, he doesn't have to sell me on that. I know he's busy. I know what it takes to run this kind of operation.
Yeah. I mean, I wake up in the morning and it really, I need to get better at balancing my time, because it's all consuming to do what I do.
Oh, absolutely.
And but I also feel like I was chosen and I was destined to do this. I didn't know, God was going to grab a hold of my shoulders and say, now you're doing this. I didn't even recognize any of that until just recently. And so, and I know there's all these people in the fight doing the work, and it's good. I like it all for the most part. Like I know Q, like I know Q is a thing from the internet where they posted information that some of it came true or something, and where we go one, we go all, and some stuff like that. Right. And I know it's the 17th letter of the alphabet, and I know that that's the highest clearance, and I know those things, but I was never at home on a computer deep diving. It's like James O'Keefe. Like he does like I'll put out 50 videos a week of just reality because it's easy. But you got other people that are digging in and doing the investigative research, and that's why when James O'Keefe puts out a video, it's done well because he's dug into it. And my thing just hasn't been that. I haven't dug into it. But just on the street level, I can see Bitcoin ATM machines popping up in convenience stores. I can see symbols of the mark of the beast and the New World Order system rolling in Amazon Fresh. I can hear the voices at all the self-checkout, $9.99, $3.99. Please place your bag on the thing. Like, so I can see it all happen. I can see the robotic people just going through the motions of life. And it's my job to just show everybody that, because you're not going to see it anywhere else. No one else is doing it. That's the thing. No one else does. Well, there's some people that do it, but no one else does it like me. No one else has done as much of it as me. No one else has been as many places as me showing it. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm just saying it. I'm awake. My eyes are open. And look, I don't know if Q is real or not. I don't even care. Right. I don't know if XRP, like you're saying, is the one, or it's XLM, or it's JFKYZ. I don't know.
Brother,
is someone
if I showed you a picture of a sky that I took a picture, I swear I get chills talking about this. I'll have Amber send it to you. I'll make it my point. I there's a picture of God that I didn't even see. I saw a picture of what looked like to be like an XRP logo, right? And it definitely looks like an XRP logo. It's even got the separation right in the middle, all of it, right? And I sent it to my friend Kathy Mathis. Kathy sends it back to me and circles the face of God and sends it back to me. And it is undeniable what you're looking at. That is the face of God telling this dude, I need you to sell the XRP to the little people.
Well, look, I hear you. I have more pictures of clouds in my phone, man, in the last 2-3 years that I ever took in my life. And I've been looking up at the clouds forever. Right. We are all praying I'll never forget in Valdosta, Georgia, with a group of Christians waiting in line at a Trump rally, and as we did it, these two doves flew by, and the doves literally just flew like in, and they took a turn and they disappeared right in front of us. And then we looked up and there's two clouds and I have a picture of it, right, that were doves in the air, like at the same exact time. I'm telling you, man, like those stories are stories I want to tell, because I've seen so much of God working. And I'm just telling you, I don't know. Right. And that's part of the fun part. What I do know is we have the Bible, and that tells us what's going to happen. That tells us how this thing ends, and we are there. And it's our job to be in the war, to be in the fight, to be the believers, to be the kingdom. right? Kingdom come, thy will to be done. Like that is what's going on. And we're all doing our part. And the people that are like you that are, hey man, I got this cool stuff that no one's ever seen before. And I want to show you, like, yeah, let's do it. And for my part, I just kind of close my eyes and I say to God, it's like, okay, God, well, I guide my steps today. I don't know, maybe Mel, if I'd gotten rich, I might have gotten lazy, like I might have said, well, now I can buy a big mansion and I don't need to do this anymore. So maybe that's part of the reason my feet have been held to the fire. But at this point, if I had extra, I would have I'd have my own home and I'd get a better car because my it's an apocalypse car. I mean, I've beaten the crap out of it in the last 2 years, driven it all over the country. So I get a better car to drive, but then I would help others. That's what I would do. And that's my call. That's my call to people. When I ask for donations, it comes in $5, $6, $10, $15. Occasionally someone sends 100. We need the real money to get off the sidelines. So someone should call me and they just say, hey, Richard, influencers, hey, your budget's 150,000. I call 10 of my friends. We've got you. So what do you need, man? You need a gas card that works? Yes. Okay, great. You need a car? Yeah. Okay, great. We're hooking you up. Go, Richard, go. Go, Richard, go. Right? You need someone to film you from time to time? Yeah. Okay, great. Let's do it and get it out there. And then, Alex Jones can call me from a show. Richard, what's going on out there? This, David Nino, you, whoever it is, Richard, and not just me, others, right? We need to build that out because otherwise
exactly where I wanted to take this conversation. I want to see the Nino Rodriguez step up and help Richard, not just Mel Carmine. I'm just one dude in this.
And it's not. I'm not criticizing anybody. Everyone's free to live their lives.
But you know what? It's important if they understand the value of your work. It is important that they step up and they allow Richard Citizen to tap into their audience. And let's, if 1,000 people give you $5, that's $5,000. That helps.
Right. This is the thing. This is last month post, right? This is all truth that I posted. That's new, right? It's new. It's new stuff. And it's in real time. It's happening today. And so what value is that worth? Well, I'll tell you right now, sitting in my shoes, it's not much. Right. And part of the problem is because I don't ask. I mean, I'm bad at asking.
Well, this guy came here to do a free session. He heard that I was in town and he called me. Somebody told him that I was here. He figured out a way to get a hold of me. He got a hold of me, called me on my phone, and his name is Mark something, and he knows who you are. He has some kind of a radio station.
Yeah, from San Diego.
Yes, you know who he is?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Mark. I don't know if I want to give out his last name.
No, but let's give his show a plug. What's his show?
Sovereign Radio.
Sovereign Radio. There you go. He called me personally. He told me about your story, and I reached out. I never talked to you before. I don't know who you are, but I like what I see. I tell that Richard Citizen Journalist is a real dude with a real mission. And even though we never had a talking together or whatever, I like what I see. I want to see everybody. I want to see the community put their money where their mouth is and stop talking bullshit.
Yeah, like people.
Rodriguez, come to the table, Jocko. All of you guys.
Yeah, I have there's people that I like out there and I support them. I do. I was giving K-Love Radio $40 a month when I had money because I was listening to Christian music when I was in the deep state swamp and it was keeping me going. So I donated to him, and I realized change is uncomfortable. And I realized things like me, I'm new, right? You never had a guy who told you about his personal life and also delivered the news to you at the street level. No one's ever had that before. No one has ever had something where they're not reading from a script, except for people like Alex Jones who've been at it hard for a long time, this and that. But and then everyone's watching and they're like, and the bottom line is you vote with your dollar. That's what it comes down to. If you like Richard Citizen Journalist, you got to vote for him. And you do that by kicking them $5 a month. I mean, I have a .locals, which I'm really trying to promote. And if I can get, this is the thing, if I can get 3,000 people from my audience, and I'm going to do, I don't get to do longer format like we're doing right now, right? Because on Telegram, when you post a video to Telegram in decent quality, it takes a long time to load it up, right? This is how I know all those towers are total BS, because there's towers everywhere. My phone is slower than ever. They're all sorts of glitching going on. We can We could do a whole nother show about all these things. But so I have dot locals and I'm doing these longer formats. And that's the guy that called you, Mark. He heard me on my dot locals because he's paying the $5 a month. And he's like, Richard, he's like, this is unbelievable. The stuff you're doing over there, you're talking about. I'm like, I know. I haven't had a chance to do long format. And it's different than anything else anybody's talking about. I'm sick and tired of the echo chamber. And a lot of these people out there that have their shows and stuff, like, I know that people that I know that used to listen, like, it's the same old stuff now. Like, I can cover the news in 3 minutes. I can tell you what happened today in 3 minutes. It's real easy. It's like, and it's mostly nonsense, right? We should be talking about the other things happening. And so, but my vision is I get 3,000 people to join my dot locals. And then at $5 a month, 3 times 5 is 15, right? And then I got 15,000 a month in cash flow. And then I don't have to worry if I need to grab a hotel because I'm on a mission. If I need to maybe stop and have a nice meal and not eat 3 bananas a day, right? I mean, I want people to really understand that reality that I'm in. The bumper's falling off my car, right? I need brakes, right? That is the reality.
Yeah.
And I'm a hero in this war, a hero. Yes, you are. I went to hundreds of hospitals in our country when all you guys, many of you were wearing masks, listening to this. Many of you put the mask on. Many of you stayed home because you were told. I didn't. I got in my car and I went to the hospitals and I called the doctors cowards when the media was calling them heroes. That alone, that broke the matrix. That wasn't supposed to happen. They didn't count on that. It's reasons like that and other things that others have done is why no one knows what's going on, because the matrix is shattering everywhere. No one can make sense out of it because people stood up and fought so the truth can come to light. And that is what heroic acts are. That is what courage looks like. If people think it's easy for me to get in my car every day and go see the world and tape it and explain it to them in a way that can show that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that can show that there's actually good coming, even though, look at this. And if they don't think, if someone thinks that's easy, they're wrong. And that's why no one else does it. That's why Nancy Drew, I know Nancy Drew, and her and I have had conversations, and she won't mind me saying, but she goes through tough times because it's not easy to know what you know and go into the Capitol and the White House every day and see it and know what's going on. And the whole world's watching. This is not an America thing. It's a worldwide thing. So, the reality is, and who can you trust? I mean, everybody that I run into, they say they trust me more than anybody else because I have 3 years of videos that are undisputable, right? Here's this thing I'm filming. This is what it looks like. It's this day and time, place. This is where I am. Here's what I think. What do you think? That's my mission. And it's brought so much truth to light in the world that we changed the game. We've changed the game on the deep state. We've changed the game on Agenda 2030. They don't know what to do. They're flying around their stupid private jets, clawing away at their power, acting like anyone still cares when we don't. What we need to do is we need to repent and tell people to repent as a nation. We need to turn back to God. That's first and foremost. Then you need to support the people and vote with your dollar. Stop buying crap from Walmart. If it costs a little more to buy made in America, do it. Stop by your grocery, stop by your local farmer's market, buy local honey. There's people growing stuff. Look up from your phone while you're driving, look for the signs. You'll see a sign. It'll say local something or other, grass-fed beef here, and make the turn and go see that farmer and talk to him and get to know him and build the relationship. Because I'm telling you what else, there's plenty of evidence in this game right now, in this reality that says it's going to get real bad. And when it gets real bad, if you don't know your neighbors, so, and a guy like me who's not afraid, right, should be funded. That's it. It's easy. And there's so many scammers and there's so many liars and there's so many cheats in this world. I get messages every single day. Richard, is this you? There's people that have impersonated me on Telegram that have robbed my followers for a lot of money, I think. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. These things are so Facebook, YouTube. I know it's what we're using to communicate, but it is the enemy. They're ruining people. They're destroying people. They're lying. And we have got to be the ones that fight through it and make the switches, stop, drop, and roll, jump through it, keep up the fight. And I'm a guy in it. You're in it. We're in it. And, I just want to keep swinging my hammer, and getting after it.
Brother,
I mean,
I just want the community to come together. I
me
like
too.
Nino Rodriguez. I like Jocko. I
Yeah.
like Scott McKay. I like all of them.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like Charlie Ward. I like all of them. But
Me
in a
too.
crisis situation like this, God forbid. You see, I don't know why this man upstairs chose me. I was an atheist
Yeah. Think
for the
about that.
longest time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Phil Godlewski. I heard he was too. Think about that. Think
I'm
about the soul.
guided. I'm
Huh?
guided, bro. I'm like a guided heat seeking missile. I'm on a destruction path. I'm going to destroy the New World Order. I'm here to destroy the New World Order.
There you go.
I'm a guy that grew up with gangsters owning pizza shops in New York, New Jersey, in that neighborhood. You understand? I'm a neighborhood kid who thought that lifestyle was sexy when I realized it ain't that sexy.
Well, I get it. And that's right. Like people say to me, like my friends and others, like, how Richard, how do you know where to be? How are you always, why do you, for a long time, how do you always get your camera in the right spot? And I'm like, I don't know. What I know now is God reassigned me and I just didn't know. And I happened to record at the right time. And I did that thousands of times. And that's not going to come to an end, right? It's a God-given gift that I have that I realize now. I can just look up and I can see the thing that's important in reality in front of me. And I'm good at it, really good at it. And so that's why it's important that because things unfold. I mean, brother, I took pictures of a food line in Montgomery County. It's one of the richest counties in the nation. A couple of days ago, hundreds of people standing in line for hours for food. They got there 2 hours early. They didn't start serving food till 11:30 or giving out food till 11:30, and I came by at 9 in the morning or something, and that line was already there. This is important stuff. We have work to do, and my work is to show you. And then other people's work is going to be to create solutions and provide the service or whatever it is. We can do better in America than having food lines. Believe me, Jeff Bezos could drop, apples at every doorstep. So could the post office every single day for nothing. And we have plenty of apples. We have plenty of land. We have plenty of solutions. And if we just keep saying, oh, well, what can I do? It's hopeless. It's lost. I'm just going to pay here in Montgomery County, they're raising people's property tax by 10%. They are impoverishing America. It's true.
Deliberately.
Yeah. But those of us that are awake, we can pull each other out of it easy. We just got to help one another, believe me. And you've seen me giving up. So yeah, I mean, if your audience or whatever, and I'll put the links down there for me, I appreciate it, man. And so I can keep going. I mean, that's all.
I reached out to you because somebody put your links in my chat rooms, which we got 30,000 plus people in both of those chat rooms, and they started to make their way over to the Trump room. And I said I got to contact him because I need to know that we're donating the money and it's going to you and not some scammer.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's crazy. Your admin called me and he was like kind of acting funny because he's like, I was like, hello. He's like, this is Richard. I'm like, yeah. And people like they're trying to listen if it's my voice, same person. We're living in a crazy time. Yeah. AI can already impersonate our voices. It's crazy, right? And who can you trust and what can you trust? But that's how we get together. That's how we link up, and that's how you know what's going on. You can trust and that's why everything on my channel that goes up, I mean, it's me posting it when I'm asking. It's my information. But people are skeptical, and who can blame them? Because it's hard to know what to believe anymore. And that is why, like. I have 30,000 people in a chat room. I think I don't look at the numbers anymore, but
but you were over 250,000 at one point.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying, people say to me, other truthers, they're like, you have the best chat on the internet. That's what they say, and I can't keep up with it. I rarely read it and there's spam in there and it drives me nuts. But that's what they'll say. And I'm like, God, I know, like I got all this stuff going, but I can't figure out how to pay my bills. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
You, man. So some things start to take priority when it gets like that. I get it, bro. And you got to stay focused. So we're going to figure out a way. First of all, I want you to get to know Mel Carmine. I want you to feel good about Mel Carmine. I want you to trust Mel Carmine because Mel Carmine is not here to take anybody, including you. What I want to do is figure out a way where we can get you into some positive cash flow as quickly as possible. Because at the end of the day, this is a war. Wars need funding, whether it comes in
100%.
through things that you sell that your audience is buying anyway.
Yeah.
Right? You understand? So we got to figure out, what are they buying? Let's give them the best product at the best price so that it funds the war.
Yeah,
Your
I mean,
war, my war.
yeah, I mean, I'm on board, and it's just, it's crummy what happens. I mean, I'm not saying that people have bad motives, but like, I got contacted by a lot of these companies out there, and I don't want to say who they are, any of this.
That's fine.
But they say, Richard, it's gonna, someone comes on like, oh, I'm making $40,000 a month at this, and that sounds really good. And I'm a salesman, so I know like some of them. Like, okay, well, in these types of things, they're gonna give me the guy that makes the most to make me. But anyway, it was presented and it made sense. But come to find out, like, I got to put 30 hours a week into it myself to make money. And I'm like, I'm trying to be Richard Citizen journalist. How can I be Richard Citizen journalist and be doing this other thing 30 hours a week? So it's just, I got to figure it out, man, And so far it's been the donation model has been the only thing that's worked, which is fine. But I just wish I should just have some gears moving in the background, or, whatever it is. If it's Rifle Coffee, or if it's whatever. Hey, this is Richard Citizen Journals reporting from, by the way, check out my friends at this thing. And I know there's the My Pillow and all these other things, but so I don't know, man. I think I'm just not that great at the business part of it, but I think it's going to come together. And I think people like authenticity. I think these days there's a lot of people out there that say, you know what, I'd rather just give this guy $10 because his information is value to me, and I can skip the whatever because I have the soap in my house already, whatever. I think there's people that are saying that in our movement too. So, it's all going to work out. I know that. I know it's all part of God's plan. That's what I trust.
Well, God sent me to you.
Yeah,
you
brother.
Finally got onto my show.
Yeah.
And we're going to do something great together. You're going to get to know me. You're going to get to feel comfortable with me. I know that time is of the essence. I know that some of our people have already donated to you. We're going to get more people to donate to you because I'm putting that in the room constantly. I don't make any money, and we're not partners. I know some people, oh, Mel's a scam artist. He's partners with Richard Citizen. Most of these guys are, what do they call us? Grifters. That's the new word now, grifters.
Yeah,
okay. We're none
and look,
of
and I'll be the first to say
there's
been a couple of times where I was in a pinch and I took some advertising money and and I got scammed. And I got robbed, and that's happened. And like, it's just, it's unbelievable. And you want to trust people. And all of a sudden I had this one guy making a deal with me a while ago for a good bit of money, and they put the money in the account and I was able to spend it. And somehow they yanked it after some of it was spent. And then PayPal says, boom, you're banned through some back channel, reverse thing, whatever. I mean, burn. And so it's just like, this is what I'm putting up. It's my Cash App. It's my Venmo. It's my Zelle, right?
Perfect.
It's my Give, Send, Go that I created myself, that I'm in control of. And when you hit those links below, that's me. And I know it's crazy I have to say that, but I get official campaign emails from Trump. And even now, like, I'm looking at him closer, wondering, is this really from his campaign? That's how skeptical things are, It's crazy.
The scammers are out in force. Because of my Sicilian heritage, there's a video of like police officers trying to break through this door, and they can't break through the door. So I made that video into the Sicilian firewall. Nobody could break through the Sicilian firewall in my rooms. And really, we have the security in our room is paramount. Amber, my wife, has all the robots with all the different scams going on. They pre-program them in. So if somebody goes in, the robot immediately, within literally a flash of a second, boots you out.
Yeah, see, maybe I can talk to Amber offline. I have one of those bots, but the scammers keep creating new stuff. And then someone
they create that stuff, all my administrators get in touch with Amber. Hey, here's a new one. Put it in the system. So we keep adding them constantly, relentlessly, 17 hours a day. We do this. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I hear you.
In. And then somebody else comes in with that same link, with that same scam. Boom, gone. They post it and it's gone. Just like that.
Well, let's maybe chat a little offline, because if you have some admins that are pretty good at that, my admins are fried, man. Like, it's just because my stuff goes banana sometimes, and we just, and these are just good American patriot people that put it in as much as they could, but it burns you out. It's not a paying position. At least I can't pay them, and so And I know there's some more technology and some bots, but this is not an area of expertise. That's the thing. I just need some help with this stuff. And,
sure. We're gonna get you squared away, brother. I promise you, we're gonna get you squared away, because like I said, the first thing you have to do is you have to trust Mel. I got rid of. Listen, I sell one of these wand thingies, all right, that does healing, the iTerahertz, which the link is right down below. A great business opportunity. Some people came on board without mentioning any names. Okay, they know who they are, and one for sure got caught skimming off the top. The others we can't really prove. Okay. But what we did is we got rid of all the bullshit and we have one person. Okay. Leah, I love you. You're doing a great job. Shout out to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Leah is the only person that we give the leads to. She keeps a percentage of the leads for herself. She plays by the rule book. She agreed to the terms and conditions, and we're doing just fine. So we got rid of, we threw out the trash, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we're making some money with that, not tremendous, but I got people underneath us making some money too.
Yeah, but and a large part of this Patriot thing is that multi-level marketing stuff. But you got to have people you trust, and the thing is too, and the thing about it too is like I think a lot of it was presented to me like, Richard, just talk about it and you're going to do well. But the reality is you've got to work these businesses, and I either have to make the choice where, and these are choices. I either say, okay, I'm going to take 20 hours a week and do that.
You don't have the time.
But then I'm off the street. Then I'm not. Yeah. So I just, so it's a balancing act.
You don't have the time, and you have to be plugged into a system that's real, that's not BS, and people that are not going to take your money. Okay. And they have ulterior motives. You got to be plugged into a system that's real. Number one, you got to be plugged in with people that are not going to take your money. Number two, and you got to be plugged into a real business that it's a product that people need, people want, and that product solves a problem. And they're buying, they're sorting it out.
And I think, and I think that I don't have any really bad feelings towards anybody that introduced me to these things. And I think I've done a bad job. I mean, I think that I should be talking about it, and I'm not, because I'm so focused on the news. So we're going to figure it out, man. It's going to get figured out.
But I want, because like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, I like all these guys, Nino Rodriguez, Scott McKay, Jocko. I watch their shows. I get information from them that is valuable information. They got to step up. They got much bigger audiences, and I'm just a pizza guy. What the hell do I know? I don't know nothing.
Yeah. And there's some conversations going on about some new products coming out in the background that I'm going to start trying, and I'll be able to testify to how it's working for me. And then some of that, some newer stuff, because a lot of the stuff is saturated now. A lot of people know about Buying America. A lot of people have already picked their horse on precious metals, this, that, or the other thing, vitamins, all that sort of stuff, supplements. There's still some new stuff coming out, and that's what I'm hoping to get behind. Your buddy Mark, he's working on something for me out there with, forget what the stuff is called, but they're supposed to send it to me, and I'm gonna try it. Good. And then, so those types of things are.
I got a good vibe from Mark. I got to meet him. I got to spend some time with him. As a matter of fact, we're doing a podcast here this coming Thursday with one of his buddies who's interviewed General Flynn and some big people. That's gonna be very exciting. Can't wait for that to happen. So the things are definitely absolutely moving in the right direction. And I'm glad that I got to meet you. Please tell me that you'll come back at some later point. We're going to hit the pause button. We'll hold you over for a couple of minutes. We'll have a chat sort of off the air. But I think that, it's just a matter now of getting the word out there. This gentleman needs your help. Okay. He's not like homeless, but we don't want that to happen. So let's push the envelope and I don't care if it's $5. $5 is nothing, guys. Okay. Don't have that stupid cup of coffee. It's that stupid place called Starbucks, which you shouldn't be supporting them anyway. They're the wrong side of the team.
And if your audience follows me, they can, the thing that I want to do is this thing called .locals, which, you sign up for it. It's actually good. It's got interactive chats and all sort of stuff. And you can sign up for it. I'm not even charging for it. Everything on there is accessible, but you can just click a $5 a month thing. And if enough people do that, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's $5 a month.
My wife is donating to you. I know I had a few of my friends donate to you already. I'm going to get a few more donate, but I would like to see some of the bigger boys. I've only been here 15 months. I built a pretty impressive network, and that's with them holding me down. That's not going to happen for much longer. We're winning this war, Richard. And I'm glad that you are on our team, and I'm pinching myself that I'm even talking with you. You are the real superstar here, brother. Believe me when I tell you that.
I appreciate it, man. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you, guys. You know what you got to do? You got to take this video and sprinkle it out there, because at the end of the day, you guys are the digital soldiers. You guys play the most intricate part of this war. This war is going to be won or lost because the digital soldiers did or didn't do their job. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. Thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.